How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Country Mash. I hope you guys have been awesome. Today we're taking a look at the Primary Arms 1:6x24 first focal plane ACSS RAPTOR. Now, when Primary Arms first came out with the Gen 3 second focal plane version of the 1:6, it became an extremely popular optic for AR-15s. And so with that, Primary Arms decided to kick it up a notch with the first focal plane version and a simplified reticle. I'm going to go over the reticle a little bit later, but first we're going to start off with the specs and details of the scope, and then I'll talk about the reticle, and then I'm going to talk about my thoughts and my experience using this scope. Primary Arms did send this optic for test and evaluation, but that's absolutely not going to change what I have to say about it. I'm going to be honest as I always am, and just as any human should be, but just want to get that out of the way and let you guys know. So let's start it off with the specs and details. So the MSRP price on the Raptor is going to be $399.99. So pretty much 400 bucks, and yeah, it's a little bit more than the Gen 3 second focal plane, but you have to understand you're getting a really big upgrade by going to a first focal plane, because in my opinion, first focal plane it's a lot more versatile. You're able to use the ACSS reticle on any magnification rather than just the 6-power magnification like on the second focal plane Gen 3. The Raptor reticle inside is an etched reticle, which means you don't necessarily need it illuminated in order to see it. But the scope does have illumination with 11 settings. It uses a CR2032 battery that comes with the scope, and it also comes with an extra spare battery inside of the windage turret cap. Just like a lot of the other Primary Arms scopes, this thing is waterproof, it's fog proof, it's shock proof. They made this thing extremely durable, just like all their other scopes. The lenses are fully multi-coated, and putting it side by side to the Gen 3 second focal plane version, I think I would give the edge to the Raptor. They're kind of similar, but I do think the Raptor has a little bit better clarity. And then last but not least, this scope does have the lifetime warranty, which is awesome. I love that Primary Arms is doing that. They really stand behind their product, and it just kind of shows you that they have a lot of faith and confidence in what they're putting out. Now, to kind of go over a couple of specifications of the scope. The tube of the scope body is 30 millimeters. The ocular lens is actually a little bit bigger than the Gen 3 second focal plane. This guy is at 36 millimeters. The total length of the scope is also longer than the Gen 3 second focal plane, and this guy is sitting at 10.7 inches long. And then it's also a little bit heavier. And this scope with the lens covers on it weighs 18.8 ounces as claimed by Primary Arms. The eye relief is outstanding at 4 to 4.3 inches. It's really far back, very forgiving, as well as the eye box being very forgiving. The total elevation and windage adjustment is 50 MOA, and the click value is a quarter MOA per click. And it also includes the flip-up lens covers, which I think is pretty cool. I personally prefer the Raptor reticle over the reticle in the Gen 3 second focal plane version. It's a little less busy, it's a little cleaner, it's a little bit more, it kind of gets you on target a little bit faster when you're at 1 power, but it also still does the job with ranging and giving you BDC holdovers and wind holds, and it gives you a lot to work with without being too busy, and I like that. Okay, so my experience and my thoughts on the scope, I like it. I like it a lot. I really like the Raptor reticle. I hope they use that in some more optics in the future. And I like that it's first focal plane. It makes it more versatile, so it doesn't matter what magnification you're on, your reticle is still going to be able to work. And I just like the general versatility of having a 1:6 scope with a reticle that does so much work for you. The durability of the scope, the Primary Arms optics haven't been around long enough to really, give them that track record of durability. But there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people really putting these things to the test, and I've been banging mine around a lot. I don't use rifle cases. I throw my guns in the truck. They get dropped on the floor. Like, these things get abused pretty bad. So I really like the scope. A couple things to point out, whether you see it as a con, as an area of opportunity, or just something that you should be aware of. Some people have an issue with the reticle being too small at 1 power, and I could kind of see that. It is what it is. Obviously, Primary Arms is always growing and always adapting and always getting better and better. So I'm curious to see where these reticles go in the future. And as far as the illumination, it's not necessarily daytime bright, and some people complain about that. And that's one of those things to me where it's not that big of a deal, because if it's really bright outside, don't I want a reticle that contrasts that, like maybe a black reticle? I don't know, that's just me. I get it though, you know, some people want the illumination to be like a red dot in the daytime. It can be nice, but at the same time, the etch reticle does really well. And then the last thing I noticed, which again isn't that big of a deal to me because already the 1:6 scopes aren't the fastest at 1 power, but I noticed that the 1 power isn't as true as the 1 power on the second focal plane Gen 3 version. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that they had to make it a first focal plane. That could have made it a little bit tougher to get it to be a true 1x. But yeah, just wanted to point that out to you guys. Overall, I love the scope. I'm going to continue to use it for quite a while on my 16-inch Bravo company. I really like it. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys were able to get some sort of value out of it. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because it's a huge support. Thank you to everyone who already is subscribed to the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.